Hello, immortals. Welcome to our second ever All Citizens meeting. I can't believe it was just a month ago when we launched Immortalis. And in that time, we've done so much, and we're just now starting to build momentum, even though we accomplished so much in this last month. And I just want to thank everybody here for showing up, for being a part of this worldwide cause. And for all of you contributors, for all of you ambassadors, and those of you on the leadership team, we really can't do this without you. So thank you, everybody, for showing up today and being a part of this movement. And to kick this meeting off, I'd like to welcome somebody you are all familiar with to help get this started on the right track. So it's my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce my father, Mark Hamilton, who's going to start this meeting for you all.
Thank you, Wallace. Hello, everybody. It's great to see all these wonderful immortals. Great, just taking a minute here to look at everyone. Fantastic. Yeah, it's been a very busy month. As you know, Wallace and Josh were in Singapore at the Network State Conference, made some amazing contacts, some amazing forward progress that Wallace and Josh will cover with you later after I talk. This all started, we all started this movement 50 years ago when my father first identified in his neotech discovery that the greatest responsibility of man is to cure death, right? That's our greatest responsibility. And here it is a half century later, and we are on the march to make that happen. We're all part of this. And that's just stop and take a moment to feel what that means. We are the bud of humanity to bring us to where we're supposed to be, immortals. We're the beginning. We are the original founding members. We are the immortals of Immortalis. And here we are. Now, what I want to do today is just talk to you a little bit about your role in all of this. This, what I consider the greatest movement of all time, to face our greatest responsibility of man. Here is an approach for you. Wallace will talk to the ambassadors and to his team about a slightly different approach where we're dealing with more of the heavyweights out there. But I want you to deal with just everyday people. That's your role as immortals, to bring people in. If each of you bring in, I forget who was the one who made this identification, but if each of you bring in one person, we've doubled the size of the citizenship of Immortalis. We first must realize that people that we approach, they are not necessarily going to be changed, their belief systems. They're mature adults. And we don't need to change their belief system. Even though this grew from Neotech and went through and grew through Neothink, we don't need to present Neotech idea system philosophy or the Neothink techniques and thinking tools. We don't need to bring that to our family, to our friends. Look, a lot of you have known and have expressed to me the blowback you get sometimes when friends or family members see that you're so motivated and enthusiastic about neo-thinking, about these books and these big books that you get and read, right? Some people say, well, you're caught in a cult. Sometimes I will get children being middle-aged adults of some folks who are getting older, who all of a sudden step in and say, you leave my father alone, or you leave my mother alone, because they think it's a cult. They don't realize it's the greatest thing happening in their parents' life. But what I am saying is that's what we run into out there, because neo-think and neo-tech are just so different than the way most people think out there. And we are pioneers in a new mentality. We all know that. I don't need to explain that to you. We all understand this. And we understand the friction and the resistance we get. So I'm going to make your job a lot easier by pointing this out. You do not need to bring neo-think or neo-tech to your family and friends or strangers when talking about Immortalis. Here's what you can do, and here's what needs to be done at your level. Probably the largest, most disliked, and I'll even use a strong word, hated group of people in our civilization are politicians. That's a well-known fact at this point. Politicians. Now, people don't fully realize why that is. They just have the feeling they dislike politicians. We at Neo-think get down to the root underneath things, to the fundamental. That's what the prime law is, right? It's down to the fundamental law of protection. That's what we're so good at. That's our role out there. So I'm going to tell you what's underneath everyone's feelings of dislike, of hatred toward politicians. You see, they sense that politicians are holding back the life they were meant to have, that they were meant to live. People feel that. They feel it. They don't fully understand why, but they feel it. They feel this dislike. They feel that that life they once dreamed of didn't happen. And they feel their standard of living being pushed down, their children, their futures being threatened by politicians. Now, earlier I mentioned family members and friends and sometimes children of people who are getting older will think that we're a cult, right? But you know, recently I've been identifying and teaching you that the real cult of civilization is the ruling class. See, what is a cult? A cult is that which controls your life and manipulates your mind for the benefit of the leaders. Now, I just described a ruling class, right? And I just described all ruling classes throughout all societies, throughout all civilization. We have always lived in a cult. All civilizations have lived under a ruling class. We just didn't know it was a cult because there's never been anything else to compare it to or contrast it to. There's never been the other dimension that I've been talking to you about over the past several months. And that other dimension is a civilization with no ruling class, with a prime law constitution, Immortalis. So people don't realize what they've been living under, but they do know that they feel a dislike for politicians because those politicians are benefiting monetarily and psychologically from your suffering. They are a cult that's suppressing you, and you don't fully understand what's going on, but you do feel it. The people feel it. Here's what's going on. The reason that the cult, the ruling class, can suppress us, does suppress us, and lowers our standard of living and threatens the future of our children and grandchildren is the fundamental of initiatory force. You see, the general population, they don't understand that aspect of it. They just sense, they feel that the politicians are suppressing them. And goes along with that, the regulatory bureaucrats, the disruptive, dishonest media, so on and so forth, big business and so on and so forth, big pharma, you name it. But people feel their lives and their futures and their children's futures and their grandchildren's futures are being suppressed. And it's because of initiatory force. So this is where you can approach your family, your friends. You don't have to bring up neo-think. You do not have to bring up neo-tech. You do not have to bring up some of the harsh thinking tools that we present that you have understood over the years, you can just stay focused on one thing and one thing only. And that is initiatory force is what's causing our suppression and has been preventing us from the life we should have had, and will prevent our children and grandchildren from their lives that they should have. And the prime law constitution in Immortalis, that's the way out. That's the escape hatch from the cult. That's the way to live the life you were meant to live. And if you keep it focused on initiatory force, people will realize suddenly, why is it I let other adults initiate force against my business? Why is it that I let other adults initiate force on my life, on my belief system, on what I do? Why? Why is it? Here's the prime law. The answer is it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't allow it. And here is your escape hatch. It's Immortalis. This is where everything's going to change. Now, we're beginning as a network state. We're going to move into a land base eventually, perhaps sooner than we initially thought. Wallace is going to give you some of the plans today in that direction. I think we're making big movements. I'm going to be taking a trip down into South America here within the next month or two. Wallace will talk more about that during his presentation. So some progress, some very good progress is being made at the upper team level, but I want all of Immortals, all citizens of Immortalis, to now march forward with bringing in other people. Approach them. Don't worry about Neotech and Neothink. That can come later. When they're in Immortalis and they get experience, they get exposure, they're on the discussion board in the community, then they can start learning about it. But right now, you just tell them, here's what's really held you back all your life and what's really holding us back now and is threatening to our future, which is why I, Mark Hamilton, for the first time, am going public. All our works, all our prime literature, that can stay in the secret society. That's fine for now. They'll find out about that in due time. Right now, it's all about the prime law and about the prime law being the Constitution to Immortalis. So let me see some thumbs up for people who got my message. Well, I see a lot of thumbs up. Thank you very much. I'm excited about moving forward. We're moving forward aggressively. We're not playing anymore. This is the real deal. This is the final chapter. And I want this final chapter to be completed sooner than later. So I want all of you to help, to pitch in, to get involved in this. And I've given you sort of the freedom to go about it. You don't have to worry anymore about presenting people with Neothink or Neotech. You can just focus on the prime law. Very cut and dry. People will immediately respond. So I look forward to seeing you a month from today. And I'm going to turn this back over to Wallace. We have a great meeting. I'll be right over there working, writing, and listening in at the same time. Okay, I love all of you. This is great. We're all Immortals. We're the original founding members. Take a lot of pride in that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Love you guys. Here's Wallace.
Wow. Hey, everybody. I got goosebumps. Yeah. So thank you, Dad, for coming on and starting off this meeting with a big impact. And so the next thing I want to do is we kind of got a lot of updates for you all. So I'm going to start off with reading some of those updates on just a little bit of our progress. Then I'm going to ask some of you to come on and just for a minute to talk about some of your experience being on Immortalis. And then I'll move on to discussing our network state, the network state conference and Josh's and my experience there, and talk about next steps. And then I'm going to hand it off to some other speakers who are going to be talking today, like Josh, Cody, Gabrielle, Marco, Frankie, and Alicia. So we got a lot to pack in over this next rest of the meeting. So without further ado, I'm gonna give you some of the big updates so far. So this is just a little celebration moment of some of our big successes since our last meeting. So I realized last meeting was only 3 weeks ago. It wasn't even a month ago. And since then, we have come a long way and we've done a lot. So last meeting, 3 weeks ago, we just hit 400 members and 400 citizens. And as of a few hours ago, we now have 531 members, citizens of Immortalis. So we hit our next target in just that short amount of time. And so now our next target is 600 and we're well on our way. And yeah, Immortalis is just 1 month old. And I'd like to thank Matthew Chase, who's in this, who posted in the community "Happy 1 month" to all of us, and I saw a lot of you guys liking that, and it was a nice little celebration. And on top of that, we've received over 120 volunteer applications to be involved in Immortalis, to be an ambassador and to help move us along in an active way and having an active role. So thank you to all you volunteers, and we've officially onboarded over, let me check that number. We've officially onboarded 53 ambassadors into our internal team. And so our team is growing fast, our force is growing fast, and now we are really entering phase 2, which is a network union, a group capable of collective action. And so we've begun organizing, we've begun projects, and by the next call, we're going to be fully in phase 2. So right now, we have a foot in the door of being in phase 2, but by the next all citizens meeting, we will have fully entered phase 2. So that's really exciting to think about. And other updates is we have, I believe, we have a handful of workshops and events going on in the Immortalis community that are quite a success. I attend most of those, and they're very engaging and very high value. So on Mondays, we have a citizen celebration where we cover all the progress and updates that our individual members are doing to promote the Immortalis vision and move the mission forward. And then on Thursdays, we have the Immortalis Ambassador Workshop. This is where all of our ambassadors get on a call and we figure out our next plans. We help each other on our progress. We pick up projects and see those through to completion. And that's like those ones are a really great time because we put all our minds together to really come up with large integrations and move our mission forward. And then we have the Mysticism Crusher workshop on Thursday as well. And that one kind of peeks into your mind and identifies obstacles and limitations that are holding you back and how to not just identify them, but overcome them and crush them so they can no longer limit or hold you back. And that one's being facilitated by Gabrielle right now. And I'm working on a personal mysticism of mine. I know it's helped a lot of people. We made some great strides on the last call. So I would recommend going to these on a consistent basis to improve yourself. And then we have on Friday, our Friday Night Essence workshop. And that one's identifying your Friday Night Essence, who you were meant to be, and how that relates to Immortalis, and what you can do individually to live the life you were meant to live and help society experience the lives they were meant to live, and attach your personal Friday Night Essence to the mission of Immortalis. And then there are plans in the future of adding additional calls and workshops that are all going to be high value for you. Remember, we're just a month in, and we've done so much so far. So thank you to everybody contributing to those, facilitating to those, to adding to those. And we're just getting started. So let's see, did I miss any other celebrations and progress that we made over the last month? Let me know in the chat, or any in the leadership team, just unmute yourself.
Just to throw in real quick, I've heard amazing things from many of the participants in the workshops, and it would take us probably hours to really sift through the level of productivity, the independent actions, and the potential of collaborations. It's astonishing, really.
Yeah, thank you for that, Gabrielle. And so before we get into the rest of today's call, I would like to ask some of our members to come forth, raise your hand, and talk about your experience on Immortalis so far. And we're going to spend up to a minute max per member. And so just a little warning, if you go over a minute, we may cut you off. But I'd love to hear some of your positive experiences so far with Immortalis, or maybe updating us on what you're doing to help move the vision forward. So Josh, can you facilitate this?
Yeah, we'll start with Artem, and I'm putting up a timer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn off my camera for my voice heard well. Well, my experience is becoming more visionary for myself, and I see only just like without any doubts or something, you know. I see the success is coming up for us all by my part of action to put in the society, which I mentioned. And one of my major concepts and for Friday Night Essence is the Prime Law movement, to bring it up with my last breath of the soul, whatever it comes up to. So there are no borders or boundaries that can stop me of making that happen. And there is a civilization of universe. I will tell you like this simply: they are supporting us, me and us. When the time will be right, you're going to see miraculous things. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. And thank you very much, dear Mark Hamilton. And all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, and good job on the timing there, Artem. All right, we'll go to Jeremy next.
Hello? Can you
Hey,
hear me?
yep.
Josh. Hey, what's up? So I probably brought in like 3, maybe 4 members this week to Immortalis. One of them is my cousin. He's on right now. So he's kind of giving me a little praise, but I've been working with him too, side note. But yeah, I believe in this wholeheartedly. And also the only other thing I can think of is that, you know, everybody's still like gravitating towards the ascension when they're like speaking like in like more in the general population. So if we can start, so it's like, okay, do we speak on our Immortalis? Do we speak on ascension? So like if we get people like start gravitating towards Immortalis too, to start speaking in that direction too, we'll get, you know, more population on there as well. That's what I'm thinking. Like it's not as much people talking. So
Yeah, great job, Jeremy. Congratulations on those invites.
thank you.
All right, we're going to go to Phyllis next, and shout out to Shirley for letting me know about my volume.
Hi guys. I had been kind of away for a little bit, and I'm not completely situated. What I have in my mind is a way, because I've got my feet in several different arenas, and I think it Immortalis can handle being a breeding ground for that stuff to come together and come to fruition in a way that helps everybody, whether they, like Mark just said, we don't have to, challenge their beliefs and all that other, they can learn later, learn as they go, like we did. But I wanted to ask, how do I how to work with some of these different groups, because I got all different categories, and I also have some personal level stuff that's on. People are not functional. They got challenges. Most of my current acquaintances.
Yeah, I think coming to the ambassador meeting, we're really starting to focus on the messaging and how we can go out there and meet people. So make sure you schedule that one in. Okay, Phyllis, look at the events in the community section.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Ed. Yeah, thank you, Phyllis. Edwin's up next.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Gabriel and his workshops, because they've been really fantastic. And if you're not going to them, you're missing out a lot. And it's not for wimps. It's we really get into deep stuff, and we get challenged, but we grow, and it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. So I recommend everyone that can to attend those meetings. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin. Some of your comments in the meetings have lingered with me for the last week. You're always adding a lot of value with your participation. All right, let's get Mark Albini in here.
Hi, everybody. And I'm just getting started with Immortalis, but I'm working on disconnecting myself from the anti-civilization. That's the biggest thing. I'm so tied to it with real estate and physical properties and things like that. I have been cleaning up properties, putting them up for sale, moving what I have to move so I can free up myself and my money. The other part is that I do have an investment, and when that money comes in, I'll be immediately searching for land. So I'll be a part of the network stake, but I'm going to be looking immediately to find physical earth to start designing and building. But anyway, that's my path in front of me, and I'll try to get to more of the workshops as my time frees up. But that's the plan.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and you're in good company here as far as getting on that land and doing stuff. All right, we're gonna go to Amy. And Wallace, let me know if we're going to be able to get through all these hands or if we need to cut it short to move on here. Amy, you have the floor.
Okay, well, I'm very excited about Immortalis, and I'm really enjoying our meetings. I'm very excited about working with creating the onboarding and coaching and initiatory force and maybe some other things. I don't want to take on too much to have a lot going on in my life. And for me, the Mysticism Crusher has been extremely helpful already. I've written quite a few posts about difficulties I've had, and I just feel like there's a new determination. And even though I'm still, alone where I'm at, it's like this, I feel like I'm not alone anymore, and I just feel like, very determined, even though I'm still, the AC world is just unbelievable. Even though I'm facing a lot of resistance. I just feel like very determined. Anyway, so that's very exciting for me personally, and I'm very excited for our whole mission. And I thought Mark's presentation was just spot on. So very exciting.
Thank you, Amy. All right, Doug, you're up next.
Okay. Last meeting I had with Gabriel on crushing the what do you call it? The mysticism out there.
Yeah.
I was whining and complaining about my domestic situation here, and I won't go into that, but I had to get off to the cabin and regroup, and I'm back at it. I've talked with a friend of mine, a previous colleague, and my other daughter. They're both interested in signing up with Immortalis. And what I'm telling people is that the reason I'm even approaching them about this, I'm not trying to sell them anything because it's free, but I am caring about my friends and family. And and approaching people that I care about, that I want to, there's the music. Okay, but I'm just using that, that I care about the people to bring them in.
Absolutely. And feel free to keep these conversations going in the community as well. We're just getting a
Right.
little update from everyone. All right, Yvonne.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Two things. I'm really excited because my lead magnet is really growing my contact list. Everybody that signs up for my newsletter gets a copy of the Prime Pledge. Free. I'm going to add the Prime Law to that. I started off with the Prime Pledge, but all I have to do is add that. And they do have access to the Prime Law as well, free. The other thing is that I'm excited about is that today I put my focus on how can I get people's attention on my Facebook site towards Immortalis. And I wrote my copy today. I'm not going to divulge what it is, but I'm very excited about it. So I'm ready to start posting on Facebook, something that I feel will attract people to at least start talking to me about Immortalis. That's it.
That's wonderful. Congratulations, Yvonne. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Arlene. We just have a few more hands. Maybe we can get through them all. Go ahead, Arlene.
Well, all I can say is I'm very thankful for Immortalis and the workshops, because with the workshops, it's gotten me completely remotivated to doing my art and to also do a lot more deep thinking. And I've been thinking about questions all this past week for, the Prime Law talks that we need to do. And I did post a few questions today on Ascension. And all I can say is I really appreciate what Gabrielle has been doing for us in our meetings, and I've learned a lot from everybody, and it's helped me move forward in a way I never thought imaginable. And that's all I'm going to say. But this thanks to everybody, and happy 1 month to everybody.
Yeah. When was the last time you bird the country?
Yeah.
Let's go. Great work, Arlene. You're shining as usual. All right, Tony.
Yeah, thank you very much, Josh. I am very much in agreement with Edwin, Doug, and Aline about what Gabriel is doing for us in the workshop. It's really very powerful. It's really helping us, and it's going to help Immortalis in a very profound way for a very long time. I want to thank him for that. And I'm just very thankful that we have Mr. Mark Hamilton as our leader. You see, if half of or just 1/4 of the leaders in the world were like Mr. Mark Hamilton, the world would have been a better place, actually. Because when I think very carefully, the only two leaders that I can compare Mr. Mark Hamilton to are Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, and Jesus Christ. Those are the only two leaders that are benevolent leaders that I can compare Mr. Mark Hamilton to. So I'm really grateful that he is our leader. And I'm really grateful that he is leading us to Immortalis. The reason why I'm saying this is that Mr. Mark Hamilton is relentlessly preparing us to be better people for Immortalis and for ourselves.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. You're looking good today, by the way. Looking presidential over there.
Yeah, but I want to
like
finish
an
this.
ambassador.
Yeah, thank you very much. He's really preparing us very well. You see, some of us are so passionate about.
Tony, we're just doing one minute. If we have a chance, we can get some more in, or just post it in the community.
Some of us are so passionate about Immortalis that we have been going all out, telling people about what New Think is doing for me and so forth. And Mr. Hamilton has just cleared that we should forget that and just focus on the Prime Law. So I want to thank him very much for that. Thank you, George, for giving me this extra minute.
Yeah, Tony, you deserve it, brother. All right, Wendy, you're up next.
Thank you, Josh. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Wendy Ty. One of the biggest limitations I had when I came into NeoThink was my weight. And since being in NeoThink for about 2.5 years, I've lost 160 pounds. On Ascension website, I'm doing a class on Vision 8 that's in the Super Puzzle and in the Secrets book. And I just wanted to extend an invitation to everyone. If you have time on Wednesdays during the afternoon, please join us. We have a good time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Wendy, leading by example over there, being a great value creator. All right, we're going to go now to Wade and Gene, and then after Aaron, we will close out this segment and move into the rest of the meeting. Go ahead, Wade.
Mute. Okay. It just unmuted. Thank you. I was thinking about Arlene and the labor pains that I've experienced for so long up here in Canada, which I think in probably 20 or 30 or 40 years will be called Northern Immortalists. In the meantime, I felt like a fish in a tree, really. And as it turns out, the advent of Immortalists, it brings me to a homeland. I have no other place where I can any longer live my life fully. And I'm just so grateful. My life is unavailable without Immortalists fully. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that resonates with me, Wade. I like the way you said that. Well said. All right, Gene. Thank you, Wade. Gene, and then Aaron, and then we're going to segue back to Wallace.
Okay, I don't know where my picture went, but I'm here. This is Gene Simmons. I want you guys to think about how excited you are right now about what we're doing and where we're going with Immortalis. Think what it's like for me and for all my friends and neighbors that are senior citizens. We probably haven't thought much about immortality for us because we knew that we'd be getting older before everybody else did. Now we've at least got a trying chance. So this is what I'm thinking about tonight, and this is what will give me the energy to get into Mark's suggestions for tonight and put them to work. And I'm a happy person.
And a great role model, Gene. And then we have Aaron.
Hello, Immortals. I'm just going to say how incredibly, amazingly fortunate I feel to have heard that amazing speech from Mark Hamilton tonight about initiatory force and everything else. That was just powerful. I'm just feeling so grateful to have been here this evening to hear that. I also just quickly wanted to talk about the workshops. They really are workshops. We get work done in there. We move forward in there. And Gabrielle has been amazing so far. If you guys haven't gone to the workshops yet, give those a try because it's really, really effective. These are amazing workshops. And I wanted to compliment how wonderful it has been to be in the ambassadors meetings. It's been incredible to be around such wonderful people and actually working and integrating and working things out together in a workshop type scenario with the most beautiful minds that I've had the pleasure of sitting with for that amount of time. So I appreciate all of your time and I love all of the workshops. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, Aaron is a good closer. We're going to throw it back to Wallace and we'll continue on.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you all for sharing. That got me psyched, motivated even more than I already am. Gene, you actually brought a tear to my eye, so I appreciate you sharing. And yeah, it was beautiful hearing all of your experiences so far. And I hope I know that's a common experience amongst most of us here in Immortalis. And so I'm going to talk about some of my experience in Singapore. So as most of you know, the week after we had our last meeting, Josh and I took a big step and went to Singapore to go to a network state conference to get a lay of the land, to learn the players there and to make really good connections. And so I'm just going to give you a brief of my experience. And so overall, I think it went incredibly well. Josh and I made great contacts. We met incredible people. And most importantly, I feel so much more confident and convicted on how real our project is, our movement is of Immortalis. And I think we can beat the 10-year goal. It's going to take an extraordinary amount of effort, but we can absolutely do this. Going there, getting a lay of the land, made me see all the other infrastructure and that is already being built toward this, toward network states, toward new countries, towards new form of governance. And I do want to say really quick that I want to tell you about something special that happened with me. You know, going into this, I was of course nervous, you know, talking with all these big people. So I was, you know, preparing a lot, making sure I did my homework, did my research. But when I was at the event, a few people messaged me from our Immortalis community, and they wished me luck, and they said that they were behind me. And when I was there, I really felt you all with me. And it really gave me a lot of confidence knowing that you were all supporting me, and I felt you guys there with me. So you guys really carried me through that conference and that event, making me, you know, go out there, make myself known, talk to people, make sure I shove people out of the way so I could talk to somebody I want to. So I really want to thank you all, because I really did feel you there, and it gave me that motivation, that boost, that confidence I needed to be able to go out there and be effective. So when I was there, you know, all those, you know, some of those fears or shyness kind of washed away, knowing I had all of you behind me. So thank you, really, thank you. I don't know if I could have done it without you. And so another really interesting identification that I made is that when I'm hearing all these people present, and after, you know, kind of debriefing after the event with Josh, I noticed that there was I noticed an identification that a lot of these guys with charter cities, pop-up cities, and people trying to create special economic zones, you know, they were all doing a really great job, but they don't have a long-term nor permanent solution to governance, and they don't fully understand the roots of the problem, and that no long-term nor permanent societies can be built from what they're doing as is. You know, because they are thinking and still existing within the same bad system of initiatory force in the rule of man. And so I realized, and which made me even so much more convicted in our mission, in our vision, that we are the true common denominator. We are the missing link. Everybody there needs us. We're not a competing player. We're not there in just an additional an additional group trying to build something related to a network state. We are the group that unites them, that brings them all together. They have pop-up cities around the world. They have charter cities all around the world in special economic zones, but they can't fully do what they're trying to do as long as they're in the existing system of initiatory force. And otherwise, well, and we can see that right now, they are in a losing battle because they're fighting within that current dimension. And that's why their progress is so slow. I mean, Prospera, for those of you who don't know, Prospera is a charter city in Honduras. And they were looking like they were killing it. They looked like they were so far ahead. And that they were able to produce a cure to a disease. One of the companies in Prospera was able to produce a cure to a disease in 6 months that normally takes 10 years in the US because the FDA regulations holding them back. Well, guess what? The rule of man in Honduras violated their charter. And there we go. And it's going to do the same thing over and over again. It's a loop. It's inevitable. Prospera thought they got it, but they didn't, because now the Honduras government, actually the day before the event in Singapore, the Honduras Supreme Court ruled that Prospera was unconstitutional. So now they're reneging on their deals and taking away and violating everything that they built and agreed upon, and they're stripping away their progress. And so that's why they need the prime law, because the prime law will break the loop, the vicious cycle of the rule of man inevitably getting their dirty fingers in things and blocking and holding back progress, and even just completely stopping progress altogether. And so these guys need the fundamental law of protection to protect them, to be able to pursue their goals and see it through to the end. And so we are the master puzzle piece as their missing link to break the loop. And at this point, they're all going to benefit. We're not competing with them. We're their protectors. They need us. And we're not trying to say our group is better. We're not trying to poach members. We're trying to free them to do whatever they want to do, to have their own experiments, to be able to decide for themselves what the best path forward is for them. And so we don't need to steal their glory and thunder, because that can be a big issue with some people. Ego can always play a role into this, but we're just offering the fundamental keystone, the missing piece of the super puzzle that's going to break the loop of initiatory force. As an example, I met a girl who represents a company cloning bodies, and they think they have a real shot at achieving biological immortality in the short term. But they're stuck. They're completely stuck. She came to me and she was like, we need land. We need to pursue our research freely. We can't be held back. And some of them are even scared that they might go to jail because it breaks the FDA regulations and laws that require them to spend 10 years to get what they could do in 6 months. And so they can't move forward. And that's what we're dealing with. Also, I talked to people in the crypto industry. They're stuck. And a lot of them are afraid to innovate because the SEC wants to put them in jail. And the SEC doesn't want competition. And the Fed doesn't want competition either. And so they don't know, they can't innovate. Entrepreneurs, they're stuck. They can't innovate. Elon Musk has been saying, we can't go to Mars the way it is right now. It's going to be impossible. Humanity will never get to Mars the way the laws and regulations are. And so what we provide, we can tell them, imagine where Prospera would be without the ruling class. And the researchers, we can tell them, imagine what you can accomplish if you didn't have someone breathing down your neck 24/7 and have to be afraid of being penalized or even going to jail just for pursuing anti-aging research. You kidding me? So that's our power. That's what will make a change. We're not stealing their thunder. We are protecting them. We are their protectors. And we can make sure they can pursue their goals, their dreams, and free them, free those geniuses of society to innovate, to charge ahead, and to bring us values at a much quicker pace. And we offer the only way out for them. And so that was a major, major identification that I saw. Nobody had the answer. We have the answer. And they're all out there separately doing their own thing. We can unite them all. We can bring them all together under one voice in a worldwide movement to bring about a prime law society and a prime law world. Because we're not telling them how to do things. We're not trying to poach from their audience. We're trying to let them soar. We're trying to open the cage and let them spread their wings and fly. That's what we're doing. And so some exciting next steps for us is I realize, you know, we can really make this happen. We can really do this. But we need to take action. We must get loud. We need to go on social media and just talk about Immortalis. You know, enough sitting on our hands. We have the passion. You all have the passion. You believe in this. So we got to talk to people. We got to tell them about Immortalis, about the prime law, and have conversations. You don't need to shout at people's, you don't need to shout in people's face saying, hey, join this thing. Hey, join this thing. We just got to get awareness and attention, have a conversation. You know, ask people, do you believe somebody else should tell you how to live your life? Just start asking questions. Start asking questions. Start talking about, hey, maybe there's a new form of governance where the government can't force you to do something you don't want to do. And Marco's actually going to take up a project that's going to help all of you be able, he's going to take over a project and lead a project that helps you, that gives you talking points about what to talk about in regards to Immortalis, and just spread that out to all of you so you can, you know, you can be more effective. And then we can all share and contribute to those talking points in that document, just based on our own personal experience. So another big step is, you know, we have our 10-year goal, but I really want to accelerate this project and move it along faster. And it really starts with all of you here on the call to contribute. And I really believe personally, we cannot do this without each and every one of you here on this call. I believe that. And so we need you guys. And another identification or another big step that we're going to be doing is following up and reaching out now to making big connections. And I was invited to speak at a governance event in Cyprus, which I'm going to follow up on. And I'm just trying to get out there, make ourselves known and promote, be on stages, meet the right people. And I need all of your support. And that's how we're going to do this with each and every one of us. And it's going to be the greatest project we've ever worked on. And another big idea, which we're still figuring out the strategy with, is we have a potential opportunity, a potential major opportunity to actually make this happen pretty quickly. And without going into too much detail or talk about it prematurely, but we are looking at an approach of contacting Javier Milei and seeing if we can set up a land-based experiment in Argentina. Because Javier Milei, he's the new president of Argentina. He's libertarian. He believes in individual rights. But he's trying to dismantle the regulatory state, holding back progress in his country. And on top of that, he has the power to grant us a land-based experiment within Argentina. And so we have a couple angles on how to approach that. but that seems to be a huge, that could really get us to where we want to go in just a few years, not 10 years. So we're carefully approaching the situation. Cody is actually making moves toward this. Gabrielle and Josh are involved in this process as well. My father is. And of course, we're not going to fully rely on this. This is one approach that we're going to take, but no matter what, we're going to see this through to the end, whether if it is Javier Milei granting us an experiment, or whether if it's another route, we're going to see this vision through. And I have another approach for that. I have a potential contact who knows government officials in Argentina, and I'm going to start working on that. But I just want to kind of give you a teaser on this approach that we're going to take. And another thing is, yeah, so we're starting to reach out to big people now. My father's made contact with a few people and is planning on reaching out to some of his bigger contacts. We have Cody doing his thing, and he'll probably tell you more, so not steal your thunder, Cody. But I want you to all put in your calendars that on November 10th, to all show up to an interview that Cody is facilitating with James Stroll, a leader in longevity and anti-aging. Cody made a very beneficial and powerful contact and connection to in the longevity group. And so we need to show our presence and all go to that live. It's going to be on November 10th, and you'll see more updates emailed to you and also in the Immortalis community. And on top of that, he's going to be reaching out to somebody who may have a connection with Javier Milei. And so we will see how that goes. But Cody is starting. He's one of our official Immortalis shows that he has on YouTube. And he's representing Immortalis in that professional capacity. And he's going to be inviting big players, and he sees himself as bridging the gap between our movement and the longevity in the longevity crowd. And then Gabrielle has a plan to approach and reach out to players. I myself have a plan, and Josh is going to be reaching out, following up with interviewing and having public discussions with the network state contacts that we made. And so to end all this up, to end this recap up, we need action. We need to move this vision forward. We need to move the ball forward now. So promote Immortalis to your friends. Marco, again, is going to be giving you talking points to help for those of you who need it. And recruit people, become an ambassador, join us on the internal team in the Discord. Somebody put the form link if you haven't signed up yet to be a volunteer. And this next ambassador call on Thursday is going to be pretty huge. And we're really going to be taking big next steps on picking up projects and executing on them. And so overall, I'm super excited. Like, we're doing this, guys. It's only been 1 month, and look at the progress. So we can't get comfortable saying, wow, that was a great month, and kind of just ease off. We need to make each month better. And so without taking up more time, I'm going to pass it off to Josh, who can talk to you about his experience. And then we're going to move on to Cody, who's going to talk to you. And then Gabrielle. And Gabrielle's also going to show you some projects you can immediately get started on and working on to help move this vision forward. And Josh, take it away.
All right. Well, first I want to say thank you to all of you guys. And I really want to say thank you to Mark Hamilton for really looking into the concept of the network state and also making sure that Immortalis could be represented at the conference. If it wasn't for Immortalis, there wouldn't really be as much of a reason to go to the conference. So what all of us did leading up to that in creating Immortalis, that made it worthwhile for us to end up doing that. So there really wasn't any purpose for us to go there if it wasn't for all of you and all of us together and why we're all here today. And I also want to say thank you to Gabriel and Alicia and Marco and Frankie and everyone else who kind of kept things going, because Wallace and I were really away at that time. And if it wasn't for all of the events and workshops, and there was still a lot of people that had to get onboarded into Discord, contacted and interviewed, things maybe wouldn't have kept rolling and the momentum wouldn't have kept building and maintaining while we were over there doing that. So thank you for trusting us to do that. Thank you for everyone who kept things going. And the trip for me was a lot of first times. It was my first time to Singapore, my first time actually in Asia. And I did learn a lot about planning trips like that in the future, which maybe I'll share with you guys. Because for me, I just went immediately. I arrived like one day before in the morning, and then I left the next day in the evening. So it was a pretty quick turnaround, like a whirlwind experience. But I had been familiar with the network state since before the book was published, and it had really caught my attention so much that I actually stopped doing anything in crypto at that time, stopped really paying attention to different projects and stuff, because I felt like, to use a hockey reference, because I grew up playing hockey, I felt like what my father, who coached us, always told us was you don't skate to where the puck is at, you skate to where the puck is going, or you read the play and you see where it's going and you react to it. And I missed the first conference the previous year in Amsterdam, and I really wanted to go to this one. So it was my first conference, and I was familiar with some of the people that are organizing around the network state, because I pay attention. I'm in different Telegram groups and stuff like that. But it was my first time like being on the ground, shaking hands, and really getting to get an actual lay of the land in person, in real life. And also it was my first time meeting Wallace in person, which was pretty awesome. That was like one of the best parts of the experience. And I also got to meet a lot of other people that I had known from online that I was connecting with, but we didn't get a chance to ever meet in person. And I met a number of them, people, let's say from that I've seen in online circles or in different Telegram groups, again, organized around the network state. And I even ran into a friend that I've known for a while, thanks to Gabriel, who was at the event. And a number of the contacts that I made, including my friend that I just mentioned, actually enrolled and went. They're currently in the network school event, which is like a 90-day follow-up pop-up event. And if you don't know what a pop-up event is, we'll probably have to address that. But I did post the live stream, the recording of the conference in the chat. It's on YouTube, or if you just go to the Network State podcast or something, you'll find the YouTube channel. And if you go to the live tab, you can rewatch all of the talks. So what I really kind of felt like we were doing is we were joining forces with our fellow soulmates, the kind of people that I read about in the Miss Annabelle story by Mark Hamilton, the Super Puzzle series. And when Mark says Neothink entering the world's equation, I really felt we were doing that. Now, this particular community is intersected with a lot of other communities, and it's not all of the people that we wish to appeal to, but it is a good mixture of them. And it basically felt like when I'm around other fellow ascenders or neo-thinkers or immortals, it felt like I was among, in most cases, fellow soulmates on this journey together here. So I had a lot of fun, the whole experience. And on the first day before the event that I arrived, we went to 2 networking events, which was really productive and fruitful. I probably got more than 25 contacts just as a result of those 2 events. And it gave me a chance. Some of the people I was already familiar with through Telegram groups, others I met for the first time, and Wallace and I kind of got to get our feet wet, conversating with people. And then, of course, we saw pretty much all those people the next day, and we were able to continue to nurture those conversations. So even the day before the event was really productive. Again, well, actually, before the event, we ran into kind of like a subsection of people that were attending the conference. I would kind of call them more the regenerative crowd. One of the events, the networking events, was even called like regenerative network states or something along those lines. Somebody's trying to get my language switched for the translator here. And So that was really productive. And then during the event, I sat in for some of the talks in the morning, including there was like 3, I guess you call them armchair conversations or discussions. One of them was with Naval. And so I caught basically all the talks up to that, but I couldn't really justify sitting and watching all the different talks because of how expensive it is to go to Singapore and to have the time and the energy and the money invested in that. I really needed to maximize my time networking. So after a little bit of talks in the morning, I basically missed everything except for the most of the Brian Johnson armchair discussion. And I was just networking like a madman for the rest of the conference. And it was pretty magical because I was able to take all these different approaches of messaging and connecting with people. And my approach most of the time was to basically become interested in what they were doing. And sometimes they would actually want me to share what I was doing, but I would just kind of keep asking them questions to just get a little more information about what they were doing so that then I could figure out some kind of an angle. And this is what we're going to be talking about in the ambassador training, what Marco is going to be helping us with his expertise in sales, and others will be contributing. That if you become interested in the other person and you figure out what they're trying to accomplish, then you can probably find some kind of specific need that they have, and you can position yourself as being able to help them in some way with that. So I sometimes I would have a longer conversation with someone, and I got into all different kinds of conversations because there's so many different types of people. But most of the time I kind of left them interested in knowing more about me and what I was involved in. And I left the conversation with a lot more information and data about them. And like, I was interested in helping them because I know on the follow-up that I can tell them all about me. And so I had to use that moment to really make connections. So I got a lot of practice before the conference and at the conference doing that. And I'll share some of the things that I learned in the upcoming trainings and posts and that kind of stuff for you guys, especially in the ambassador program. So yeah, mostly networking the whole time. I still haven't gone and watched all the talks yet, to be honest. Also was able to get Wallace scheduled for a little interview with one of the, like a major group contact that we made. So that was pretty cool. That happened at the event. And that made Wallace and I realize that probably we should have a bigger team at important events. And we should probably actually be doing media production on the ground because it's a massive value add to the community, but it instantly makes a huge impression in your presence at the conference. There was also a lot of people that were there as teams. Like one group, maybe Wallace remembers the name. They all had the same t-shirts, and it was like Immortal Dragons or something like that. They were basically kind of like a biotech group, and them walking around as a team with their t-shirts, for Wallace and I, it was helpful because there was 2 of us, but it would have been better if there was like 4 or 5 or, lots of us walking around. That kind of a presence would have made a big difference. And the other thing is I had a lot of different cognitions, leading up to the event, during the event, after. And one of them, just to echo what Wallace was saying, is we really are the missing link and the unifying component in what a lot of the people, beginner, intermediate, and advanced level people that remind us of the kind of characters that we read about in the Miss Annabelle story. They're just out there doing it. They are the geniuses of society, as many of us are also geniuses of society. And if we can't bring them together like the group, like we read about in the Miss Annabelle story, then it's going to be difficult to really create that worldwide drive with that supply and demand formula that many of us are familiar from Mark Hamilton's writings. And so the confidence in that for me in doing market testing with the messaging in the conversations with people my confidence is very high. And I think you could feel Wallace's voice, his confidence in that as well. Then after the conference, I got a chance to hang out with Wallace more, which was great. We really had a good chance to bond while multi-purpose, getting some stuff done. And since the conference, I've really just been taking a lot of time to digest it. I've been starting to do some follow-ups and preparing to do what I had intended to do even before I went to the conference, which Wallace was alluding to, and just kind of getting ready to pounce on my next big steps, as well as I've had to kind of catch up on some things because that's quite a big trip. So as far as next moves go, I just myself personally, as an example here, I really want to do everything that I can in our emerging network union, as Wallace was saying, to support all of you, especially those of you who really want to contribute. I know what it's like to be a part of a community and have a lot of enthusiasm and maybe not know where to channel it or not have a place to channel it. So I want to try to help all of you have a place to channel it. And luckily we do have a lot of other team members, especially Gabriel, who's trying to do his best to help us figure out where should we be contributing and get going on it. I intend to lead by example as a role model citizen in terms of what can I do that almost any of us can do, based on my Immortalis Ikigai and going to those workshops. What kind of things can I do that are in the sweet spot for me? And what things can I do that maybe in leading by example, those can be replicated to other people? And I'll speak to a couple of those in just a moment. And the other thing is that overall, I really just want to support this next phase of growth into a fully fledged network union where we take our highly aligned online community and we get a very strong capacity for collective action. So a couple of projects and initiatives that have come out of the workshops and my own thinking and our internal conversations and stuff and talking with many of you guys that I personally want to assist with are anything that can make the process of discovering and learning about Immortalis better. Like, let's just call it the buying experience. And then once someone decides to get involved in some capacity, they more or less kind of opt in or join us in some kind of official capacity. The onboarding experience, the first day, the first 7 days, the first 30 days, really helping them get started right and getting them off on the good foot, as James Brown would say. I want to do anything I can to support you guys that are in the ambassadors because we're still getting organized and getting going, working on our different projects. There's several of you that I want to reach out to and just see what can we do to help you in terms of like one-on-one capacity. What do you need? I see you have your name on this project list from our ambassador meetings. What do you need support to get going? I think we're going to speak about this in a moment. I think Gabriel in specific might be speaking about it. Wallace maybe at the end. I think a number of us are going to start hosting local meetup groups. So I'm going to do that in my local area here in Mexico. Again, leading by example. I think that's something that many of us can do that would actually be a massive help. If you don't want to host a local meetup group, maybe you can support somebody else who wants to, or at least go to a meetup in your area as they start to arise. I'll be posting a lot of content online, leading by example in that way. And also, I feel really called. I don't know if I have the bandwidth to spearhead this yet, but I have been feeling strongly for a number of years that we really need to productize the Prime Law. And what I mean by that is if you look at Article 1, if you look at Article 2, it all sounds great. But from a product and service perspective, how can we begin to really offer the service of what Article 1, Article 2, and Article 3 promise? So I'd like to work with you guys, anyone who's interested, in figuring out how do we actually turn this into a functional product that we can start to offer in the marketplace or for anyone who's involved in Immortalis. And I will leave it there. I'm going to hand it off to Cody because Cody's going to get us pretty excited. I hope you guys are enjoying the program so far, but we're barely just getting started. Cody Hazelbaker, you have the floor, brother. I'm very honored to pass the baton to you.
Thanks, Josh, and hello, everybody. First thing, I want to mention the YouTube show that Wallace talked about. Yes, on November 10th, we will be going live at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and I will be interviewing James Stroll, who has been an activist in the longevity and immortality movement since the mid-70s. But But before that, that's on November 10th. We're doing another show. It will not be live. It'll be pre-recorded, but be watching for it next week, October 13th. I will be doing kind of the first episode, so to speak, and that's going to help me kind of work out the bugs before I jump into the interview with James Stroll. So I don't know if someone has it handy, Josh or Wallace can put the link for the Immortalist channel on YouTube, so everyone can subscribe to that, and it'll make it really easy to remember to check out the show and go watch live. Having said that, it's time to get a little bit excited. So everyone, there's a lot of people I see their video on, but I see a lot of people whose video is not on. And it doesn't matter where you are, you don't have to look pretty right now, but for just a minute, if everyone could turn their video on, and it's important because we're a community here and we want to be a tight-knit community that moves as a single organism, as a country would. So anyone who's comfortable, please turn on the video. And I see some people turning it on. Fantastic. So the first thing I want to do, everyone look around the screen, maybe scroll through some of the pages, look at the people you see. There's a lot of people here for just 1 month after a launch. I want you to pick just one person and look at just the one person. They don't have to be looking at you, but find one person to look at. And even though you're muted, tell that person out loud, I want to live forever.
I want to live forever.
Fantastic. All right, now look around again, find a new person, find a second person that you didn't just look at them and tell that person, I want you to live forever. Fantastic. All right, so what's the point of that little exercise? There's a couple reasons for it, but the main reason is this. It's the reason we're all here, the reason I'm here, the reason you're here. It's because everyone on this Zoom call wants to live. And we understand how unacceptably short our precious time is right now in this life. And, you know, the people you see, they're not strangers. They're not even just fellow citizens of Immortalis. The people you see on your screen, they are your brothers and sisters in arms in the ultimate battle against death. And the people you see right now at this all citizens meeting, they're the names you're going to see next to yours in the history books celebrating the birth of the new free world. A world free of death, an evolved society that's blazing through limitless potential. Now let's take a moment right now. Now I want you to close your eyes and imagine in your mind for a moment. Imagine a time in the future where you turn on the news and the breaking stories you see every day are celebrating the successes and the innovation that's being brought to society and growing and expanding every day. Imagine a time in the future where every year is a celebration of the oldest person on the planet. Imagine this. This year they turned 145 years old. This year they turned 180 years old. This year they turned 250 and told interviewers, I'm going to spend the next 10 years hiking all the national parks around the world. Imagine the shift in society that has happened now, where people who live off of the values created by others is an asinine concept. And the idea that those people should be the one in power is unanimously accepted as ludicrous. Everyone is rich, even the poor. This is what we are creating. Open your eyes. Isn't that beautiful? But compare that to what we see today, where you turn on the news and what do we see? Disaster, calamity, disease, death. Where the people on our planet with the most wisdom, with the most life experience are dying at 75 to 85 years old. That is the society we live in today. That's the civilization that surrounds us. And we can't even call it a civilization. We have to call that an anti-civilization. And that is what we are up against in our mission to create the first truly free society based on the Constitution of Immortalis, which is the fundamental law of protection. So those of us here, the first citizens of Immortalis, Earth's first immortals, we see the vision of what a super civilization will look like and what that will mean for the world. And as such, we have a responsibility, a duty to ourselves. We have a duty to our families and to our communities. We have a duty to our fellow immortals, but it's bigger than that. We have a responsibility to carry this through for the sake of the world and every conscious being on it. Over the past years, and for some of us decades, we have been systematically taught how to see through to what is, how to use integrated thinking, how to synchronize the left and right hemispheres of our brain in order to outflank the closed-loop systems of this death-oriented psychology that plagues every conscious being on the planet on every level. We've been taught how to create, and now is the time to go out and create. Now is the time to create this new free world that we have all become so well integrated with. The world needs us now more than ever. The founding fathers, in the formation of the free world, the first free world, the United States of America, they created a level of freedom that had never before been experienced and hardly even imagined at that point. Yet what they did changed the world forever. What they did shifted the trajectory of humanity and showed humanity the first glimpse of what true freedom is. And today, the duty has been placed on our shoulders to usher in the new free world, the first truly free society, free from force, fraud, coercion, free from the rule of imperfect man. But just like the founding fathers, we have a war to wage if we are to be successful. A revolutionary war of the mind. A war against the mysticism that plagues the minds of the very people we are trying to save. A war against the parasitical class who embraces that mysticism, embraces that disease of the mind, and uses it to put themselves in position of power and control. But we won't win this war by going head to head. No. We win this war by stepping out of that losing game set up by the controlling parasitical class. We win this war by creating a parallel society, which by its very nature will quickly outflank all the stimulations and the status quo of the societal systems we see around us today in this anti-civilization. We will win this battle by forming a new country. We will win this battle by creating the new free world. We will win this battle by actualizing Immortalis. And when we do, we will watch from the hilltop as the anti-civilization crumbles and dissolves into nothingness to give way for super civilizations around the world. This is our duty. Do not give in, do not give up, and never let the intensity that you feel right now waver. The world is counting on us. Gabriel, I'll give it over to you.
I think we're going to take a moment of silence to just try and absorb and reflect on that very powerful presentation. So let's just take a minute here, if you don't mind, guys. Pretty overwhelming. It's what a room of people to be amongst. So I've got a little update on the workshops and the projects and that kind of area. In the first month of Immortalis, we've had 13 workshops. The workshops explore 4 areas. First, our unique life passions. Second, disrupting our irrationalities. Third, organizing around projects as representatives of Immortalis. And 4, aligning our Friday Night Essence with Immortalis citizenship. We heard just now at the beginning of the call from participants, not for wimps. I love that. Not alone anymore. New determination. Completely remotivated. Learned a lot from everybody. And sharing with people we care about. My observations are that we are a community unified by goodwill, the openness, diversity, and support shown between workshop participants. And we have a common language, Neothink concepts and law. And we have a shared code that our common language is not only ideas and ideals, but practical tools to pursue the most noble and effective path in life for each of us individually. Our challenge as Immortalis is translating all that we know that we are to the rest of the world. The difficulty in explaining Immortalis and the prime law. Will people who we speak to think that we are strange, extropian transhumanists, unrealistic idealists, a bunch of conspiracy theorists, a cult with a messianic leader, or just another network state project? Try telling friends and family about them joining the civilization of the universe and observe their response. Neothink as a company used metaphorical concepts partly as a means of protection from state-sponsored terrorism, while attracting a core group who understands the living reality of those same concepts. Now that we have Immortalis, our job changes. In business, there is an idea called positioning. It means creating a position in the mind of your customer where they pigeonhole your brand, product, or idea. Tell a compelling and credible story that they can relate to from their current perspective. A difficult job that we will learn how to do together. And we've heard insight from Mark Hamilton on that tonight. We've heard that Marco is going to support that. I see our community having 3 branches: advocates, beneficiaries, and contributors. Some people simply advocate for the prime law and go about their normal schedule. We want tens of millions of those people. Others will directly benefit from the valuable experiences streaming out of a combined Immortalis marketplace. I'm really interested in what Josh shared just now about how do we productize, how do we turn the prime law into services and products that people can start to make use of. And some people will become key contributors to the growth of the movement. So what does that include? I think it includes the 2 hardest jobs of all. One is legitimately purifying your own consciousness, freed from attachments to the anti-civilization. And 2 is eliminating the parasitical elites so that geniuses are freed to build our super civilization. What's more is that we also have responsibilities to take care of, anti-civilization hardships to endure, and negative influences working to drag us down. And that's where the Neothink 10-second miracles come into play. Fundamentally, I see Immortalis as an opportunity to synergize. Each of us can live our own best life. Mark Hamilton taught me the concepts of the precious childlike joys of life. He called it love, just as we might remember from early childhood, or getting our favorite new job, or falling in love. And number two, he also called it carefree feelings. Imagine no threat of politicians, no fear of civil strife, no hardship from inflation, comfort, protection, levity. Think of that combined, larger than life experiences and carefree feelings. And it's an individual thing. I am fulfilled by drawing complex system diagrams. Others like to paint beautiful art. Immortalis is a place to revel in and celebrate and emulate within our great diversity. I'm positive that approach is how we will win the masses. It reminds me of Elwyn White, who said, I rise in the morning torn between a desire to improve or save the world and a desire to enjoy or savor the world. This makes it hard to plan the day. With Immortalis, we can do both. We can both improve and enjoy the world simultaneously. We have many fledgling projects that have started among volunteer citizens so far. Social media content, online events, and podcast shows, talking points and scripts that help us explain Immortalis, creating software to facilitate prime law governance, coaching and mentoring based on the Neotech advantages and Neothink mentality, local in-person meetup groups, a welcome committee and onboarding program for new Immortalis citizens, and our own longevity conferences and more. You are all invited to be involved. And I'll end with a Native American Sioux legend, and it's a metaphor. The creator wanted to hide something from the humans until they were ready to see it. He gathered all the other creatures of creation to ask their advice. The eagle said, give it to me and I will take it to the highest mountain. But the creator said, no, one day they will conquer the mountain and find it. The dolphin said, leave it with me and I will hide it at the very bottom of the ocean. Again, the creator said, no, for humans are explorers and one day they will build submersibles and go there too. The buffalo said, I will take it and bury it in the very heart of the Great Plains. But the creator said, no, for one day, even the skin of the earth will be ripped open to build their glorious cities in vain, and they will find it there. The creatures of creation were stumped, but then an old, blind mole spoke up. Why don't you put it inside them? That's the very last place they will look. And the creator said, it is done. So fellow immortals, I invite you to look deeper inside yourself than you have ever given yourself permission or courage to do before. Dare to dream, dare to do. With that, I hand back to Wallace.
Wow, that was incredible. What a lineup. Thank you for that, Gabrielle. Thank you for that, Cody. And thank you for that, Josh. So before we continue with wrapping up our call, Marco and Frankie just have something quick to say to you all. And then we will finish up with the Prime Law Pledge that will be presented by Michael and Pam Chase. And then that will officially conclude our second All Citizens meeting. So Marco, go ahead.
Awesome. And yeah, that was some amazing speakers. Really, really good stuff. And what I want to talk about really quickly is a project that I kind of want to lead a little bit. And what that is, it's something very, very important. And it's one of the most important projects that we can work on right now. And what I want to do is actually get together a group of people that want to help with this and set up like a little chat or some sort of communication between us and probably have some meetings. But I want to, like the previous speakers were mentioning, one thing that could be a little difficult, and I'm sure that some of you have experienced this at times, is how to actually talk to people about Immortalis, maybe Neothink in the past as well. There's just so much to talk about, and we really want to be able to define it and really have solid talking points that really appeal to people, and different talking points that we can pull to talk to different types of people. So I want to get together a group of people that want to assist and help create these scripts, you can call it, or talking points that really work, that really resonate with people, and that are very effective. So all of us are able to go out there and confidently tell everyone about Immortalis, and not sounding, like culty or something like that. And we need solid talking points. We need to all be in unison on ways to talk to people and be able to see, have information on what works, what doesn't work. So what I want to do is whoever is interested in helping me with this, whether you're an ambassador who wants to help or someone else, just right now, say in the chat that you want to help, just say me, and I'm going to list you. And I'm going to reach out to you and create a group so we can get this going and we can get solid talking points. We will know how to talk with people, have full conviction and confidence. Awesome. I'm seeing a ton of people volunteering. And this is, an extremely important project, because in order to spread Immortalis and get it out there and really push our mission forward, we need to know how to talk with people in a way that it resonates with others. And what other people, they don't have all the knowledge, all the details, and just all the experience from reading Neothink and all of that we do. So the way we talk about Immortalis to other Neothink members is definitely going to be different than talking to someone else, because someone else, they have no idea what Neothink is. They have no idea of this concept many of the times. And we really need to define this, and that way it can spread like crazy. So awesome. A lot of people said me. I'm going to get you all down. I'm going to reach out to all of you, and let's get this going. And we're also going to use these talking points for if you want to push Immortalis on social media, online as well. That's going to be another way we're going to do that. So, things to say online, or things to post, stuff like that, specific concepts that appeal more than others, like the prime law and things that we maybe might not want to mention right at first. So we're going to figure all of that out. And awesome. I got a ton of you, and I'm really glad to see the enthusiasm for this. And especially if you have already been talking with people, you will be a great asset to join this, because you already have experience a little bit on what works, what doesn't work when you've talked to people you already know. So I would love for those people as well to join, because they will have a lot of input already. So that's it for me. I'm going to get all of you down and form this group, and I'll pass it on to Frankie. Thank you, guys. Love to see all the enthusiasm.
Great. Thank you, Marco. So, hi, everyone. I want to express the importance of what I'm going to tell you right now. Basically, what is one of our biggest problems right now? It's our awareness. No one knows who we are, and we need to get the world to know us. So I'm going to be part of a lead on social media, and I'm looking for volunteers who would like to help with pushing Immortalis through social media. So what I'm looking for really are people who, first of all, if you just want to if you like social media, if you want to dedicate your time, and also people that are maybe creative, we can get some designed posts up. And also people who, you know, if you kind of just know how social media works, it would be very helpful for you to be on this team. I want to get a team of people just pushing Immortalis through social media. We're going to meet and have meetings. We're going to discuss strategy, and we're going to discuss posting. We're going to post on your accounts to spread it, and also on the Immortalis accounts. So, I mean, this is a very important role. If you guys want to be part of this, I don't want to mix up people who said me in the chat. So, here, I'm gonna put a chat in, and if you could just respond to my chat, I'm gonna add you guys to the group.
Actually, I could just put a line here, and everybody who says me after that line, we will.
Yeah.
get
So
their
if
info.
anyone's interested in helping out with social media, this is going to be very important. Even if you think you aren't social, maybe you're more introverted. If this sounds interesting, go all out, because this is also going to help develop your own social skills. And I mean, just the more awareness we get out there, the quicker Immortalis is going to happen. And this is very important. So thank you all for your time. I'm going to pass it back to Wallace.
Alicia, we're passing it off to you.
Thank you very much. And my fellow Immortalis citizens, I would like to quickly remind everyone that if you need any assistance within our Immortalis online community, I am here to help. As your Immortalis support, I am available to guide you through any questions or challenges you may have. Please feel free to reach out to me directly using our online direct message feature in Immortalis. I check my direct messages regularly on Immortalis, and I am dedicated to all who direct message me receiving a reply to your support request. Let us continue to support one another as we grow together in Immortalis. Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you, Alicia, for supporting our members through everything. You are a serious contributor and a big help to everything we're doing. You keep things running, and we love that. So thanks, Alicia. Again, reach out to her, DM her in the community, and she will be able to help you if you need anything. If you're on the ambassador team and still need access to the Discord, she can help you get on that as well. And so we can work on projects together. And okay, I will say actually we'll close this out. Well, I just want to thank everybody for showing up to this call and for being here and really putting in your time and attention. And just based off the chat, you guys are so hyped up and passionate about this, and that's what we love to see. And again, thank you to everybody who spoke today. We heard from the individual experiences of the citizens of Immortalis directly from you guys, which was inspiring and motivating to hear. We heard from my father, who gave us a great talk at the beginning to start this meeting, followed by myself giving you updates on what's happening, our accomplishments and celebrations, and then Josh with his experiences and his next steps, and other great ideas to push our vision forward. And then with Cody, with his powerful speech. I didn't know, Cody, you could talk like that. We need to get you on more stages for sure to represent Immortalis. And Gabrielle for his great talk, motivational talk, and getting us moving forward with our projects, and him hosting these workshops and really taking action and making sure we're all set up so we can be effective in going out there and promoting Immortalis and getting projects done and moving forward. And then Marco and Frankie leading projects as well, and Alicia for your support. So we had quite a meeting today, and thank you everybody. And to close out this meeting, I want to welcome on Michael and Pam Chase, who are going to read the Prime Law Pledge.
All right, we're ready for that. Let me say one thing first though, okay? We are actualizing the super puzzle. And the super puzzle, they had 12 students, 2 teachers, a janitor and his wife, and a lawyer. We have 531 people today to create this actualization. It's so wonderful. Okay. The Prime Pledge Preamble. The purpose of human life is to prosper and live happily. To fulfill that purpose, a living being must live in harmony with its essence. The essence of human beings is value production and creation. Indeed, the only living being that can consciously produce and create values in the known universe is the human being. To produce and create values puts us in harmony with our essence as human beings and fulfills our purpose to live happily. Honesty and effort lift us to producing and creating values. Lift us to living in harmony with our essence. Lift us to achieving the purpose of human life, to live happily. Laziness and dishonesty block us from producing and creating values. Block us from living in harmony with our essence. Block us from achieving the purpose of human life, to live happily. So here's the pledge. Throughout my life, I shall consistently exert effort and honesty. I shall consistently remove all forms of laziness and dishonesty. I shall live in harmony with my essence as a value producer and strive to rise to the proud, happy, beloved value creator. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael and Pam Chase, for reciting the Prime Law Pledge beautifully and together. So I guess that officially ends our second Immortalis All Citizens meeting. We are making moves, guys. We're approaching big players. Phase 1 will be completed between now and our next meeting, and we're going to be fully entered Phase 2 by our next call. I mean, we've just been around for a month. You know, from the first call to this call, we went to a big event, made incredible contacts, and have big approaches to reach out to big players. From this, and then from the last call, or from this call to the next call, we'll be executing on our plans, completing projects, working together, and completing Phase 1 and entering Phase 2 of our roadmap. And imagine what we're going to be completing between each additional All Citizens meetings. Holy cow. You know, our trajectory right now has a steep slope. So let's go, guys. You all rock, and promote Immortalis, recruit, join the ambassador team, work on a project. Even if you can contribute as little as 1 hour a week, that's totally fine. Whatever your capacity is, we'd love to have your help. And for you volunteers and contributors, make sure you show up to Thursday's ambassador calls, and I'll see you all on the workshops. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here, and have a fantastic rest of your week.
Too. Good seeing you.
You could unmute if you want to say goodbye.
All right.
Come on.
Have a great night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Wonderful seeing everyone. Have a great week and great month.
All these excited voices.
Be happy.
Have a wonderful
Goodbye.
life. Have a
Night,
wonderful
everyone.
life.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Wonderful.
Love that thing.
Yeah. Thank you
Immortal.
all.
Thank you.
I love this whole
Bye,
thing.
guys.
Immortal.
Wonderful.